Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sim Race TV. We're coming to you live tonight from Williams Grove Speedway here. So get your cold drinks, your snacks, whatever you might need, and get ready. Because tonight, you know, we're getting dirty. Good evening, race fans, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody out there watching, and those that will watch. Welcome to Sim Race TV. We're back live tonight for the International Dirt Association with the SIMADDICTS here with the Dirt Midgets. Sponsored by, you know who? Norwalk Bloodbath, Mosley Designs, Canton Wines, Diesel Performance, HRT Sim Racing, and Ferguson Racing. A lot of great help out there. Thanks to those guys. Anyway, tonight for the first race of the opening season for the SIMADDICTS here in these dirt midgets, or modifieds. I think I said midgets earlier too. So we're in modifieds tonight, but for the first race of the season, live here on Sim Race TV and Twitch TV, YouTube and Facebook Live. Tonight, the Dirt Outlaw, or the SIMADDICTS, is bringing you the modifieds. I'm losing my mind here, but that's all right. Bringing you the modifieds here from Williams Grove Speedway. And we'll take a look at some of the track information here. You see it's nice and cool, 70 degrees, 100% humidity, 10% fog, a little bit overcast. And we got a 50-lap feature coming up here. So I hope y'all are excited. And up in the booth, it's me, Jay Weezy. And tonight, I got a special guest here with me. It's Michael Massey from the American Short Track Association. Michael, how you doing?
Great, Jerry. How you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm just waiting for some of these cars to get out on the track. I think they're in a driver's meeting right now, which is why you're not seeing any cars out there running around. They don't have permission to be on the track right now, so we're just kind of waiting it out. Wait till they get up with their driver's meeting, and then we're going to move on here. And I'm excited for this one. They have a 20-minute practice here, and I believe they got about 32 drivers. 38 drivers have signed up for this event, but only 22 will make the main event. So we're going to have a lot of heat races coming up. Be about 4. I think they do 10 cars per heat race, so it'll be about 4 heat races coming up. The top 4 out of those heat races will advance. And then they'll have a B main there. It's going to be 22 cars, so the top 6 out of the B main will advance. We'll see how it works out. Maybe my math might be a little bit off, but we're doing 50 laps here at Williams Grove, and it's been a while since I've been here at Williams Grove, Mike.
Yeah, Williams Grove is it's a great historic track. You know, everybody that's been around dirt racing knows Williams Grove. It's a really awesome piece. There's some good drivers here tonight. I see, notice Keith Hackney in the lineup, JD Sass, Kenneth McLaughlin, Jeremy Freeman. A shout to him from old buddy of mine from years ago. More names than I can say in one sitting there, JD.
Yeah, I mean, 38 drivers here for this in the modifieds, and you know these cars, they're not the easiest to get around here at Williams Grove. It's a tough track, and I believe what 3/4 of a mile it is.
I think Williams Grove is a half mile, but nonetheless it's still a tough track. It has its own character. The cars are tough. You know, you have to really work the throttle. You have to really know how to set the car. There's a lot to these modifieds. You know, they're not like a sprint car where you can just get on it and go. You have to really, you drive the car with the pedals as well as the wheel.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a very awkward sitting car. I know when I got into it, I thought about how it was leaning so far to the right. It's cocked to the right. I mean, and it's a handful for me to drive. So I'm sure it's not as hard for these guys because they're pretty much dirt pros is what I'd like to say. I mean, because, I mean, they're way better than me, but I mean, they're running fixed setup, so that ought to help here with the competition. You might see a little bit more cautions than you would in an open setup because they'll be so packed together racing around this track, and it's a paperclip style track here.
Definitely, you'll see a lot of action here tonight for sure. Maybe a caution or two. They may go green. You just never know with these guys. There's a good group of guys out there, so I could see them going caution-free. I could see them being real competitive and having a caution here and there, and that's part of good old dirt racing.
Oh, yeah, and, you know, practice is winding down, so we're going to get set here for some good stuff to see. And like you said, there's a lot of great drivers over here. And, I mean, you could go down through these drivers, and even if you tried to name them all, you would probably still miss one or two, maybe three or four great drivers out there. A lot of new drivers that I'm seeing this season that's came over to the International Dirt Association. So, I mean, hats off to the International Dirt Association, also known as IDA. I mean, check them out on YouTube, on Facebook. I got the link in the description, I believe. And if not, you can do a search there for the International Dirt Association. But, I mean, these guys, they've been putting in a lot of work, and they've come up with a great league and a lot of great drivers. So I'm glad to be on board here. SRTV Network and the IDA series, we're partnered up. So we're going to be bringing you a lot of races here this season. It's going to be season 1 for the Dirt Outlaw series and the SIMADDICTS, which they have merged into the IDA. So, I mean, if you want to get in touch with these guys, Blake Mosley, Jeremy Freeman, those are one of the main two. I believe we have a couple more as well, which I'm not right off the top of my head. I don't know. But I know Blake and Jeremy are the leaders. Blake, he runs the Dirt Outlaw series, and Jeremy Freeman, he runs the SIMADDICTS. So check them out if you're interested.
Yes, indeed. SIMADDICTS, they've been around for quite a while. Jeremy Freeman's probably a good idea. Merge the two, have a really great league. Take two great leagues, make them even better. Could be the best in sim racing. We'll see tonight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is going to be a good one, and I haven't seen any modifieds run for a while, so it's going to be interesting to see how these cars handle out there and how the track comes into play and how it changes as the race goes on and stuff. So special thanks to everybody that's out there watching now and those that will watch. We really appreciate the support, and if you like what you see and you want to get involved, you know, check them out. And if you want to just watch some more races, check us out. Hit that like button or subscribe, share, whatever you want to do. Either way, and if you didn't like it, hey, I appreciate you for stopping by either way. You know, hit the thumbs down. You know, no hard feelings here. All right, practice is winding down. We got about 30 seconds left, and then we're going to see some cars qualifying out there. So everybody get ready. We'll be right back in just a second. Alright, these guys are out there running around now, and we're going to find out who's the fastest on these fixed setups here in this modified. And I got a good feeling that it's going to be Dylan Petty, Jarrett Murphy, Keith Hackney. I mean, it could be anybody. And last night during the Dirt Outlaws Series race, they did the Pro Late Models at Knoxville. It was a 50-lap race. The winner of that one, Richard Murtaugh Jr. He led 42 laps and brought home the win, and congratulations to him on his win last night, and good luck to all the drivers out there tonight.
Looks like Skylar Brown has the top qualifying time so far. I wonder if that's going to stick. 20.731, that's a pretty good time. I've seen some sixes in practice, though.
Yeah, he's coming out hot so far. I mean, it's a little early on here in qualifying. Looks like they're doing a great job out there. We still got some paints that are updating, so, you know, bear with me. And, you know, right before they grid up, I'll probably, matter of fact, I'll just do it now. Since they're in qualifying, I'm going to turn off trading paints real quick. And then we'll turn it back on. That way we make sure that we got these guys paint jobs, because I know how much work and time that they put into these paint jobs. So we want to make sure that we get them on there for them, and they even get to see them. You know how that goes, Mike, right?
Absolutely, man. And guys, we may have a sponsor out there. You know, some of these guys, even though they're sim racers, they do get real sponsors on their cars, especially when they have a paid series. I'm not sure that this is paid, but it could be. Anyway, the guy that has a sponsor out there really likes to see it, so it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, you know, and it's not easy making these paints. Right now, they're still updating, so you might see some cars that look a little different. Give it a minute. We're about 35% downloaded, so still got some paint jobs loading in. There's a lot of cars, so it's taking a little longer than usual. But let's talk about these guys, man. Right now, Skylar Brown, he held on to it so far. There's 2 minutes left. Blake Cannon, as I speak, Blake Cannon comes through with a 6:33.
Wow, 44 machine of Blake Cannon really getting it around the road tonight.
Yeah, and Blake, you know, I say, you know, he's always up front, and on these restarts, it's like he shoots out of a cannon. So it's kind of like you can't not say Blake shot out of the cannon, you know.
That's why they call him the Cannon. Blake Cannon.
Yeah, we'll take a look at some of these paint jobs here while we got a minute and a half left or so. Skylar Brown knocked down the second. Richard Murtaugh Jr. in third with a 780. Corey Whitworth in fourth with a 20.801. Keith Hackney in fifth with a 20.841. So top five is pretty tight together. A little over 2/10 separating those guys. So it's a little different than it was last night in the Pro Late Models. Pro Late Models were a lot tighter together, and they were on open setups, which is kind of odd.
Well, sometimes the guys will get to build in a setup, and some of them will get to do it in the same as their teammate or something like that. So they might be a little closer in time. Where the fixed setup is, you've got to accommodate. Everyone's got to learn to drive that particular car, and it may not be what they're used to running.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of the fixed setup, you know, and you know, like a lot of guys and gals, you know, maybe, you know, there's some girls out there. You know, they don't have time to sit there and make setups. So, you know, it's a little hard for us to compete when we're used to running fixed setups because we don't have time to build a setup. And you know, you try to ask somebody for a setup, and sometimes it's not so easy. They like to hang on to them because they put hours and hours of work into those setups. But tonight, they don't have to worry about that because they're running fixed here. So, like I said, we're going to have about 4 heat races coming up. Then we're going to do a warm-up and maybe a B main. I doubt it with, let's see, 4, 12, 16. So, yeah, we'll still have a B main. And we'll take, I guess, 6 drivers out of that. That'll make 22. So, it's going to be a lot of fun.
I do believe Heat Race 1 is just about to load up onto the track.
Absolutely. All right, we'll take a look at the starting grid here for these guys. Looks like the 44 Blake Cannon starting on the pole. And that's funny because I said that earlier. He's always up front. Blake Cannon's got Keith Hackney in the 69 car right on his outside. Second row, it's going to be the 2 of Kyle Beck with the 22 of J.D. Sass on his outside. Third row, the 27 of Tim Christensen right there in that nice-looking yellow, blue, and black car with Kenneth McLaughlin right there on his outside. His fourth row goes to the 68 car, John Literal there on the inside. Outside of him's the 454 car, Joshua Van Gore. And last but not least, the 11, Andy Taylor.
Wow, there's the talent in this field runs deep, buddy. They're third, fourth row, even fifth row talent there, bud.
Yeah, you better get yourself ready for this one because, you know, they're going to be pretty packed in tight, I would say. And we're going to have a lot of exciting moves being made. You see a lot of close racing here. A little bit of bumping and grinding. They're not allowed to move drivers out of the way. They will get penalized for that. And if they cause a wreck, they'll get an EOL. So they got to be very careful. Show a lot of respect to each of these drivers. And, you know, they're going to be racing with them all season. This is race number 1. You don't want to start off with an enemy.
Well, that's for sure. They were starting around the track there on the back straightaway. You can see the fans are on their feet tonight for a big heat race number 1.
Absolutely. And, yes, we are live here.
Looks like the pace truck lights are off. We're about to go green here at the Williams Grove Speedway.
All right, pace truck's getting set to pull in. He's on the backstretch here. And we got 10 fast drivers about to get slideways down into turn 1. And we're going to find out who's going to be our first winner tonight for the SIMADDICTS opening season here for heat race number 1. The pace truck's in.
And they're taking the green flag as they come down the front straightaway. Looking there. Nice clean start. Let's see how turn 1 looks.
Absolutely. Blake Cannon holds on to the lead there on that restart. Keith Hackney getting some pressure from behind, or from his outside, or his inside there from Kyle Beck. Kyle Beck in the 2 slides across the nose there. Little bump in there from J.D. Sass. He hangs on to it, but Joshua Van Gore, hang on, let me get it right. Tim Christensen and Andy Taylor right behind him, so little contact between Keith Hackney and Kyle Beck as they slide side by side through the turn. Keith Hackney comes out right in front of him, but Blake Cannon's starting to increase that lead as he hangs on to the lead here. 6 to go.
Yeah, he's definitely pulling away. I think there's a little bit of contact earlier on that start. But these guys up front, they're doing it all. I think everybody in the back is straightening it out and everybody's going.
Yeah.
Look at that battle in a second.
One thing about these heat races is they don't throw caution flags. So you will not see an instant replay for a crash here in a heat race because they're so short and there's no yellows. But right now we're looking at the 69 car. He's hanging on to that number 2 spot, but he's got Kyle Beck right behind him. Right behind Kyle Beck, it's going to be J.D. Sash in the 22 car.
Well, JD's definitely no stranger to sim racing himself, and I give him a shot. He'll be up there at any time, but right now it looks like the 44 is really pulled out. The other 2 are still battling, and JD's back a little ways. One blip, and he'll be right there with them.
Yes, we take a look from the infield camera right here. Blake Cannon comes off of turn number 2. He's got a nice little lead. No pressure right now from behind as he leads another lap here at Williams Grove Speedway.
He's definitely separated himself from the field. It looks like a pretty shoe-in to win this heat race, but anything can happen in the world of dirt.
Absolutely. Anything can happen. You make one mistake, somebody's going to be there to capitalize. But right now, he's looking good as he's on 2 to go. Coming to 1 to go, he's going to get the white flag this time by Keith Hackney still in pursuit. Kyle Beck in 3rd. J.D. Sash right there in 4th. And that's going to be the top 4 that advance here. as the white flag is out, and they're getting way down close to that inside wall there, coming off of turn number 2.
Yeah, definitely looking for some grip down there as they come to the checkered. Looks like it's going to be Blake Cannon, your Heat Race 1 winner.
Blake Cannon brings home the win here for Heat Race number 1. Keith Hackney will advance. Kyle Beck and JD Sass will be the 4 that move on. Tim Christian, Andy Taylor, Joshua Vanguard, John Literal will move on to the B main and try to get their car into the main event here tonight. And that's one thing that's going to be tough, is trying to get a good spot, a good starting spot, if you even make it into the race. So you got to really put it all on the line in these heat races.
That's for sure, Jerry. These guys they're all charging hard, really trying to make a go of it, trying to get in this big feature with this big crowd. Only a certain amount of spots that they got, and everybody's charging hard, trying to get to the front.
All right, we're moving on. They're gridding up for heat race number 2 here, and it's going to be the 10 car of Mohr. Good Lord, come on, Jay Weezy, get it together. Skylar Brown in the 10 car is going to be the first row inside. Second row, come on, man, what is wrong with this thing? It ain't even showing the cars.
First row outside, Dave Sutton in the 76 machine.
All right, second row on the inside, the number 29 machine of Jesse Isidore. On his outside, the 88 Thomas Coggins.
Thomas Coggins, definitely no stranger.
Absolutely not. And right behind him, I believe we got the 069 of Dylan Petty, the 28 of Charles Silvas, followed by Rod Tucker in the 12, the 62 of Zachary Bevan, the 225 of Jordan Bitterling, and Sam Fletcher didn't make the field in that number 3 car, so it's going to be 9 of them in this heat race number 2. Top 4 move on to the main event, 50 laps here at Williams Grove. Lights off on the pace car. They're going to make our lap around one more time. Then we're going green flag here for 10 more laps, I believe.
But definitely all these guys are going to be battling for them top 4 spots. You really see a lot of action there from the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th position.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one to watch.
Are they running 8 laps or 10?
I'm showing 8 laps.
Yeah, okay, so I had to correct myself. As they come down the back straightaway with that number 10 of Skylar Brown on that front row, going to lead them down into turn 1 as the pace car pulls in. It's on Skylar to set these puppies free. Green flag. He stamps on that. He hammers down. Look at the hornet's nest behind him as they slide through 1 and 2. 3 wide, 4 wide, a little bit further back there. Thomas Coggins right in the middle in the 88 car. And then we got the 28 in the wall. Oh no, Charles Silvas, a little contact with the inside wall as the top 4 start to gather it up and move on out there. Jesse Isidore following along right behind Skylar Brown. Dylan Petty in 3rd, the 069 car. The 88 of Thomas Coggins rounds out the top 4. So they're going to be fighting to get up in that top 4.
Absolutely. There was a good battle plan with Rod Tucker and that Tommy Coggins in that 4th, 5th spot. Really battling it up there, trying to get in there. Thomas trying to shut the gate on him.
Yeah, you might want to step a little closer to that mic there. Mike, you're laying down on me. Side by side there, the number 12 battling.
Definitely a good battle for that 4th transfer spot between Coggins and Tucker.
Yeah, Thomas Coggins running a new number, I see. He's in the 88 machine over here in this modified. It looks good on there, but it's definitely a different number than I'm used to seeing. But he's got that 12 all over the back end as the 10 car, Skylar Brown, leads another lap here in heat race number 2. Jesse Isidore still in 2nd. Dylan Petty in 3rd. 4th place still Thomas Coggins. But he's got pressure from the 12. Rod Tucker starting to catch up to the back end there of Thomas Coggins. Thomas held him off once. Let's see if he can do it again. Looks like Thomas is starting to reel in the 069 of Dylan Petty.
But definitely a little contact there going in that corner, but that was the Thomas benefit on that one. He's still got that 4th spot.
top 5, 6, 7 single file right now. So they're running out of time here. 2 to go as he gets the... All right, sorry about that. Yeah, 2 to go. Is he going to get the white flag this time by? He's led 6 laps so far. This will be 7. He can lead every lap and bring home the win. That'll boost his confidence going into the main event here. And he's going to be starting up towards the front, which is where you want to be. White flag is out. Skylar Brown, no pressure from behind. Jesse Isidore still in tow, 2nd place. 3rd goes to Dylan Petty. Thomas Coggins in 4th, 12th. The 12 of Rod Tucker, David Sutton, Jordan Bitterling, and Zachary Bevan. Looks like Skylar Brown, Jesse Isidore, Dylan Petty, and Thomas Coggins move on to the main event here.
Definitely a good battle there for that last transfer spot as the other guys ahead of them moved on. Those two were battling the whole time, Jerry. What do you think of that?
Am I just that bad? I mean, I can't hang on to them like they do.
I know you can wheel an asphalt car, though. Don't let everybody, viewers, don't let Jerry kid you. He can handle an asphalt car. Now, Dirt UFP, I don't know. Haven't seen him race one in a while, but it looks like we got another heat going.
Yeah, I have a little bit of fun in that asphalt, you know, and dirt's just not my thing here, but we're moving on here. Heat race number 3 for the SIMADDICTS, the International Dirt Association. Number 8 car of Richard Murtaugh Jr., last night's winner in the Pro Late Models at Knoxville for race number 1 in the Dirt Outlaws Series, starting on the pole. And the 58 of Josh Cardwell is going to be on his outside there. 2nd row is going to be the 23 car of Noah Samples. And I believe the 33 of Ethan Stuckwish. You're going to have to keep an eye on Ethan. I tell you what, he's a fast driver. The 331 starting inside 3rd row. That's Dustin Hall. On his outside, it's going to be Todd Hook in the 30. And in the last row, the 124 of Troy Stuckwish and Mark Wilson in the 38. Lights are off on the pace car, so one more time around.
Yes, sir. It's winding up. All that energy stored behind them beasts fixing to be unleashed on the Williams Grove tonight.
I tell you what, looking at these paint jobs, I mean, I love looking at the cars. You know, Wednesday night we do the Sim 500 over on OSR Network with Joe White on iRacing Live, and I mean, that's one thing I noticed is those paint jobs really stand out, and the hard work does pay off. Pace trucks in, little checkup there on the restart, but the number 8 of Richard Murtaugh Jr. gets out ahead, hammers down into turn 1. The 23, Noah Samples right behind him, followed by the 58 of Josh Corkwell. Dustin Hall, a little contact between the 30 of Todd Hook, the 33 of Ethan Stuckwish, and the 124 of Troy Stuckwish slides right by, back up front, single file. Richard Murtaugh Jr. still holding on to the lead here with the 23, trying to run him down, but he's got pressure from behind. Josh Corkwell in the 58, moving in on his back end here, running fourth, Dustin Hall.
Yeah, Dustin Hall, that last transfer spot. Looks like Todd Hook's trying to get to him, but not quite there yet. Good battle for second there.
Great battle. It looks like the 58's trying to get to the inside there of Noah Samples in the 23. But they're running the same setup, so it's going to be all about where your line is, how you hold that line, and the momentum you carry through the corners here. As you see the number 8 of Richard Murtaugh Jr. with a nice lead. He's got a 1.2 second lead over second place, Noah Samples.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't mind those two battling it out back there as he extends while they're battling.
Absolutely not. I mean, can you blame him?
Absolutely not. 23 clips the inside a little bit. Looks like the 58 might drive under him. And 58 gets right by him, and then 23 with no samples, and they're bumping doors, and what a race.
Oh, the 23, Noah Samples loses it a little bit on that straightaway. He manages to hang on to it, but look at the 331 with pressure from Ethan Stuckwish all over him there. The 58 right in front. It's Josh Corkwills. They're battling for that transfer spot number 4. Todd Hook right now holds on to that 4th spot in that 30 machine.
Yeah, unfortunately, that bumped Noah Samples out of that transfer spot, but he's looking to get it right back. He's back in the thick of it again with the 30 machine.
Yes, we're going to keep an eye on this transfer spot because right now Richard Murtaugh Jr. is still out front by 2.1 seconds. And 3/10 back from Josh Corkwill, we got Dustin Hall. So the battle's right here for the 4th transfer spot. The white flag in the air for Richard Murtaugh Jr. as he's going to win back-to-back. The 23 throws it down in there, pulls up to the back end of Todd Hook. Couldn't quite make it hang. And it's going to... The race gonna go to Richard Murtaugh Jr. as he brings home the win. Led all the laps out there for heat race number 3.
Wow, that's all I can say is wow.
Noah Samples just right there on the edge of that 4th transfer spot. So hate to see that for Noah, but we definitely get to see him we get to watch him run another race here as he moves on to the B main here and try to make a statement.
Yep, he'll definitely be someone watching the B main for sure.
Yeah, Noah Samples always fast. As they're gridding up for heat race number 4, and wow, I mean, I tell you what, when you got 33 cars show up to an event, you definitely got to bring your A game.
That's for sure. You got to bring your A game and your A plus game because these guys are all A plus drivers. They're getting it done here at the Grove tonight.
Absolutely. Here's we got the 169 here starting on the pole. Hang on just a second. We'll put you through the field.
It's like Corey Whitworth in the 169. He's on the pole. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yes.
And Chris R. Cox, is he on the outside? No, I had that wrong. He's on the second row.
The 25, first row outside.
So many cars, man. It's so exciting.
Oh, wait. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wrong button. All right, my fault, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take you through the grid here now. Corey Whitworth in the 169 going to be on the front row here with the 25 car. Jarrett Murphy on his outside. Second row, inside, going to go to, looks like the 21 car, Nathan Kassler. He's got the 515 of Chris Cox on his outside. Third row is going to be Jeremy Freeman and Terry Joyner. Fourth row is going to be Cody Cantonwine and Michael Robinson. And last but not least is Michael Holder in the number 16 machine.
Michael Holder, he's no stranger to sim racing. I've known him for quite a few years himself. He's a good guy, too.
Oh, yeah. I've seen him around plenty of times. I've seen him here on SRTV Network as well. The pace truck's in. Corey Whitworth wastes no time hammering down. Gets off to a great start there. Nathan, Jarrett Murphy right behind. Don't let him get too far away as they battle. Trying to watch this for 4th, 5th, and 6th here right now. The 21 car, Nathan Kassler, holding on to that 3rd spot, but oh no, he makes a little mistake, gets up into the wall, gives up a lot of spots there, and that's going to put Terry Joyner in his 3rd spot in the 270 machine, followed by Jeremy Freeman in the 18.
Jeremy Freeman grabs that last transfer.
Yeah, Jeremy Freeman, he's going to hang on to that spot. He ran really well last night, and I have no doubt in my mind that he will transfer as long as he has a good run here and hits his marks.
Oh, yeah, Freeman's no stranger to the race, and like I said, Freeman and I go way, way back.
Right now, Corey Whitworth out to a nice lead, but Jarrett Murphy not far behind, but we got a gap between them and Terry Joyner and Jeremy Freeman. So the top 4 are running in 2s right now. Actually, the top 6, because you got Chris Cox and Nathan Kassler there right behind.
Definitely anything could happen.
Absolutely, with 8-lap race here, you got to go. It's go time.
Yeah, it's go time now. Not yesterday, not last week. Right now.
We're halfway through this one with Corey Whitworth leading all 4 laps so far, and Jarrett Murphy hanging right there with him. Looks like Corey might be just a tick faster than Jarrett Murphy, but Jarrett Murphy hanging on to a contact between Jeremy Freeman and Terry Joyner. Looks like they gathered it up, so they're, you know, they need to be careful because they're in a transfer spot right now. They don't need to be battling with each other too hard.
Jeremy wasn't going to be satisfied with 4th. He had to go ahead and get 3rd and get another closer spot in the beginning of that feature.
Yeah, and as he takes the 2 to go here, as he crosses the start-finish line, Jeremy Freeman being in 3rd, that's going to give him a little bit of protection from behind, but they did have a nice little gap there on them, so wasn't a whole lot of pressure from behind, but he made that move, and he got around the 270 car of Terry Joyner. Let's go back up front. Looks like Jarrett Murphy, as they take the white flag, still in tow with Corey Whitworth. Corey Whitworth with a decent amount. So as long as he makes his lead, hits his marks, he should be okay.
Looks like Jarrett is just hanging on to that spot. You know, he's got a good spot.
As he comes off turn 4, he's got this one in the bag. The checker flag goes to Corey Whitworth. Jarrett Murphy in 2nd. 3rd goes to Jeremy Freeman. And the last one to transfer, the 270 of Terry Joyner. Cody Canton-Wine, Michael Holder, Michael Robinson, Chris Cox, and Nathan Kassler will move on to the B main here, which is coming at you right now.
Wow, the B main looks like they're going to take 6 out of the B main. Is that correct? 12 laps?
Yes, sir. Top 6 will advance on.
Well, there's a big field of cars, too. There's definitely going to be a battle for the last 6 transfers.
All right, all the cars are on the grid right now, so let's take a look at our starting grid. The 27 car, Tim Christensen, starting on the pole with the 12 of Rod Tucker on his outside 2nd row. The 23 car, Noah Samples, with the 13 of Cody Canton-Wine, followed by 4th row, the 11 of Andy Taylor. And Andy Taylor will have the 76 car, I believe. David Sutton in the 76 on his outside. The 5th row will be Troy Stuckwish and Michael Holder. 6th row. What? That's not right. Either way, Michael Holder, Josh Van Gore, Jordan Bitterling, and Mark Wilson. Then we got Michael Robinson, Kenneth McLaughlin, Zachary Bevan, Ethan Stuckwish, Chris Cox, and Charles Silvas. We got a lot of cars out there for this one, Mike.
A lot of good cars. These are not typical B-main drivers in this main event right here.
No, sir, not at all. All these guys have definitely made a name for themselves to be over here with the IDA. You know, you gotta be on top of your game here.
Definitely got to be on top of your game, and these guys, 6 of them are about to be on top of theirs. They're going to try to transfer out of this consolation race and make the feature event. Who do you pick for this one?
Well, it's definitely going to be somebody that's up towards the front, and if I had to make a pick right now, if you're going to put me on the spot, I'm going to go with the 23 car, Noah Samples. Redemption time for Noah Samples as the pace car comes in. Green flags in the air for Noah. The 454 goes around. Looks like Josh Van Gore got the wrong end of that stick here, as they're all bunched up here up towards the front, and a pile up down on the front straightaway. Still got cars around. Zachary Bevan still in the lead here. Looks like we got trouble for the 76 car. The 76 of David Sutton will take it to the pits. You got the 11 car on his lid. Andy Taylor flips it going down into turn 1. We got action all over the track here, Mike.
It's hard to keep up with, buddy. Some great
Wow. You're telling me. I know this. Tim Christensen's still out front, as he's already coming up on lap cars here. They had a lot of trouble on that restart. Tim Christensen holding on to it for now, but he's getting some pressure from Rod Tucker in the 12, and Noah Samples is all over Rod Tucker right now.
Well, my pick would have been the 12, so I might be wrong too, but our picks are in line, and they could go right past the leader there.
The 12 on the inside as he slides across the nose of Tim Christensen. Tim Christensen with the crossover. But new leader, Rod Tucker, as we got 9 to go. Rod Tucker in the lead with Tim Christensen in second. Third is going to be Noah Samples.
Rod Tucker, he's in that elite chassis modified there. It looks like it's running pretty good.
Yeah, and I'm going to stick with these leaders up here because Tim Christensen is starting to fight back here to get back in front of Rod Tucker. But we definitely want to keep in touch with Troy Stuckwish back here. These guys, this is transfer spots. All these spots are transfer spots, with the 33 of Ethan Stuckwish being the last one that will transfer to the main event.
Definitely want to keep an eye on those as well. So much action in this feature.
Yeah, there's only 2 tenths separating our leader and Tim Christensen right now. So Rod Tucker, we'll go back up front and watch these guys. Rod Tucker in charge of this one with coming to 5 to go. Top 3's checked out. Then you got a battle behind them. Let's go back here to Ethan Stuckwish to watch these last transfer spots. Looks like Jordan Bitterling holding on to that number 4 spot in the 225 car, followed by Ethan Stuckwish and Troy Stuckwish. And they're brothers, Mike.
Well, it looks like the brothers are hanging on. They're trying to make that feature together as one goes underneath.
Do you turn your brother for a transfer spot, Mike?
No, I think you don't. But, you know, sometimes siblings do get that rivalry going, and you just never know. Definitely something to watch.
Right now, Ethan Stuckwish trying to hold off Jordan Bitterling. He's having a hard time doing it, though. But right now, he still holds on to it. Back up front, let's check out Rod Tucker as he's pulled away from Tim Christensen right there. So the top 3, Noah Samples right there, starting to spread out a little bit.
A little bit of lap traffic around those transfers. The 11 who went rolling had a good car, but he just ended up on his roof.
Oh, the 11 tries to get out of the way there from Ethan Stuckwish. Taps the inside wall. Ethan Stuckwish with a little bit of contact, but didn't slow him down too much. Ethan Stuckwish still safe right now in 4th. Jordan Bitterling in 5th, and Troy Stuckwish is the last one that will advance. Coming to the white flag, this time by for Rod Tucker. Ethan Stuckwish with a power move around that lap car.
Wow.
Let's go back up front and watch our leader come across that start-finish line here. Rod Tucker coming to get that checker flag to win the B main and advance to our main event here at Williams Grove, our 50-lapper. Rod Tucker, Tim Christensen, Noah Samples, Ethan Stuckwish, Jordan Bitterling, and Troy Stuckwish will move on to our 50-lap main event here for the International Dirt Association, SIMADDICTS.
Hey, Jerry Weezy, looks like we got ourselves one heck of a lineup for the feature.
I tell you what, hey, that was a wild one, and if this next race is going to be anything different, I would be surprised. But for right now, we're going to get set because they're going to do a warm-up session real quick. So I'm going to take a drink of water. We'll be right back.
I assume we're off. We're not off the air.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, while they're doing these warm-up laps here, let me get this off the screen. We're gonna do a little bit of information on what's going on here tonight. If you're just now tuning in, hang on one second. Turn these cars down a little bit. Alright, if you're just now tuning in, I'm up here in the booth. I got Michael Massey with me from the American Short Track Association. That's a tongue twister, Mike.
Yeah, you might call it ASTA for short. That'll help you a lot there, Jay Weezy.
Hey, ASTA. Alright, I can deal with that. That's a lot easier than American Short Track Association, which isn't too bad. I did get jammed up on that, though. But either way, checking out the IDA series, you want to go to their Facebook page or their league session, their league directory page. We should have the information in the description, and on YouTube it's definitely in the description. I'm not sure about Facebook, but check them out. What's up, Chris? Will do. The IDA sponsors, man, I tell you what, they're the ones that make all this possible here. Norwalk Bloodbath, Canton Wise Diesel Performance, HRT Sim Racing, Mosley Designs, and Ferguson Racing. So thanks to those guys for supporting the IDA. And over here on SRTV Network, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. So let's go over a little bit of what's going on here for the SIMADDICTS Modified Series here. 20-minute practice, 4 heat races, top 4 advanced B mains, top 6, and a 50-lap main event here. So if you're interested in good racing like that, then come on over to the IDA series and see if you can make a name for yourself. And we'd be glad to watch you put on a show. That's for sure.
Opening night for these guys. It's not too late to make a good point run.
Yes, it's race number 1, season number 1. For the modifieds, for all their series, actually, this week is the opening week. So you would only miss one race, still give you a shot at getting some wins. A lot of good races coming up here. They run street stocks, they run modifieds, they run Pro late models, and I think they run asphalt trucks. I believe on Fridays. I'm not for sure. I think it's asphalt trucks. But either way, they do a lot of great racing, so you can have a whole lot of fun over here with a lot of great guys. And just looking at these guys while they're out there running practice laps, they're able to hang on to these cars. What do you think the track's going to do as it moves on into later in the race?
Well, if they don't bring the water truck out, it looks like it may start to dry. It's starting to get a little brown patch now as we speak. So as long as the water truck stays home, we could have a 2-groove race with a little dry middle.
Yeah, I'm starting to see some dust flying around out there, so it is drying out a little bit. You can kind of see a groove built in that track. So if you was out there, Mike, where would you run at?
Well, everybody that knows me knows I like to run the bottom, but I have learned to come to the top a little more. So right now what these guys are doing is they're feeling around for grip. They're going to try the high side, they're going to try the low side, see where they can get the grip and make the best run with how their car's handling. That's probably what I would do.
Hey, I mean, you know more than I would. I would be out there just trying to hang on to it here. Right now, warm-up's coming to a close, and we're getting set to grid them up for our main event here, the 50 laps at Williams Grove, race number 1. Get ready, because we're about to get dirty here on SRTV Network. Sim Race TV.
It's about to get dirty.
You gotta love getting dirty, right? No matter what you're doing, like, especially if you're eating barbecue, right? It's kind of like that.
Absolutely. Look at all these machines on the track, Jerry. 50 laps. I think this thing's going to get nice and black.
Oh, yeah. We got a long way to go.
That groove is still there. The water truck stayed home.
Well, let's take a look at our starting grid here for our 50-lap race number 1 here with the IDA. See if we can get a better shot at these guys. Our pole sitter still ain't gridded up yet, so we have to wait on him. That's probably the only thing he's slow at. Blake Cannon, the 44 car, starting on the pole. The number 10 of Skylar Brown is going to be on his outside. The number 8 of Richard Murtaugh Jr., second row inside, second row outside. Corey Whitworth, third row, the Keith Hackney that we all know, the winner, two-time champion as well. It's going to be starting right there in that 69 car in that third row. On his outside, he's, let's see what we got here.
Looks like Jarrett Murphy in the 25.
I believe so, Mike.
Rocket chassis, looking good.
Oh yeah, I lost my info here.
I've got Kyle Beck in the 2 car.
Absolutely. Let's see what we got. Kyle Beck, followed by Jeremy Freeman. He's going to be starting 11th in the 18. 12th, the 331 of Dustin Hall, followed by the 88 of Thomas Coggins. JD Sass in the 22 is going to be starting 14th. 15th goes to the 270 of Terry Joyner. 16th, the 30 of Todd Hook. 17th, Tim Christensen, the 27 car. 18th, it's going to be Noah Samples, Troy Stuckwish, Ethan Stuckwish. Hold on now. They going crazy on me. The 88 of Thomas Coggins out there on the outside of the 331 of Dustin Hall. And man, I tell you what, this field goes awful far back, don't they?
It's a deep, deep field. If you look down from the back row, you can see them all the way down the straightaway, nothing but cars.
Take a look from the blimpy cam, like Joe White would say, the blimpy cam.
That blimpy cam.
Looks like the pace car's in. It's going to be on our leader, the 44 Blake Cannon. He sets off down into turn 1. The battle's right behind him. The 8 of Richard Murtaugh Jr. and the 10 of Skyler. Look like they made a little bit of contact as they go 3 wide down the backstretch here. What a race up front here for the top 10. These guys are battling as we're under caution. It's going to be Ethan Stuckwish, I believe. So let's go back and take a look on the replay. So we had a pile up. Looked like the 12 of Rod Tucker was even involved. So we'll take a look as they were really patient coming through that first turn. And sometimes if you're a little too patient, it could cause a problem. But, I mean, you got to show some respect. You got to be patient, especially early on a 50-lap race like this. So it's unfortunate for some of those guys like Ethan Stuckwish, Todd Hook, Rod Tucker. Got caught up in that, and a few other cars. But I believe they have unlimited fast repairs so they can get their stuff together if they do get into some kind of trouble and get back out there and try to work their way up through the field.
Looks like Rod Tucker may not have been hurt too bad as he stayed out, as well as the 30 machine.
Yeah, I was looking at a couple of those cars, and it didn't seem like they had a whole lot of damage from that. It was just unfortunate. Little pile up there. But we'll take a look at up front here. Blake Cannon in the 44. He held on to that. But Keith Hackney in second with the 69 machine. The number 8 of Richard Murtaugh Jr. And I might have them mixed up, but we got Corey Whitworth in 4th. 5th is Skylar Brown. So the top 5, Jesse Isidore's just out of that top 5, followed with Josh Corkwell, Jarrett Murphy, and Kyle Beck. And Jeremy Freeman rounds out the top 10 right now.
That's a solid top 10. And Ethan Stuckwish did come back after repairs from the pits. So
yeah,
he'll be back in this.
And I don't blame him, you know, making a quick trip down pit road, getting that car fixed back up. But he's got his work cut out for him. He's going to have to come back up through the field like that.
Yep. The best thing he can do is just ride around, be patient, and wait for the spots to come to him. He could be up there.
Pace truck's pulling on pit road right now. It's going to be on Blake Cannon to hammer down. Let's see how he does.
And they're green down the front straightaway, and Cannon shoots out just like a cannon with the 8 machine on the outside. Slides up 69 to the inside. They're 3 wide, Jerry.
Look at them, man. I tell you what, the top 10 to 12, maybe 15 cars, they get through there pretty clean, and then it starts to stack up a little bit towards the back. And that's what's causing the issue. You know, a lot of people jammed up there, nowhere to go, and, you know, it's just unfortunate. That's why you want to, you know, make the most out of your heat races. Get up towards the front, and you get out of that that mess, you know, the hornet's nest is what I like to say.
Eye of the hurricane is what I call it, but I'm from the coast.
Well, let's go back and take a look at the replay, see if we can find out what happened. I'm not sure where it was at. We're taking a look, see if we can find it.
It's like Corey Whitworth going down pit road. He might have been.
Oh, the 88. Let's go. Let's look from the 88's point of view.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find him here on the track. There's so many cars out there, Mike. It's a little hard to find, but
it's definitely hard to find.
Maybe it wasn't the 88. Wow.
It's like a chain reaction. It started up there and it ended up with the accordion effect to the back, and several cars made contact. Some light, some not so light.
Well, hey, it was still early on, so, you know, anybody that's been caught up in something right now, they still have time. It's definitely not over with. And like I said, if they got unlimited fast repairs or quick fixes, whatever you want to call them, they should be all right. They still got at least 40 laps to come give it a shot.
Definitely a long way to go for these guys. Some of the guys in the back, they have that sense of urgency, you know, and they're getting going. Even some of the guys in the middle, and they want to go, and they don't quite go as fast as they should think it should. Or, you know, sometimes it just, a guy gets jammed up, has to check up for the slick spot, gets that slick spot. All kinds of scenarios going on out there, but I think we're about to go green.
Yeah, and, you know, right now it's showing Richard Murtaugh Jr. as the leader. Blake Cannon drops back to third. And see if we can get a wider shot here on this restart so we can watch these guys come through the turn here. It's pretty much single file for the first 15 or 20. They did have a single file restart, and if, you know, they can't... Oh, the 88. He hangs on to it, but if they can't get a good, clean restart here... After 2 restarts, they do go to single file restarts, which is it's not unheard of. It's very common out here in iRacing.
Definitely something that early does. Your leagues, you've been in leagues that do that. We've all know single file start is something they use.
And it helps, you know. It's not a bad thing. You know, it looks like Jeremy Freeman having some trouble in the 18. He gathered it back up. The 25 of Jarrett Murphy there. Right behind him, the 88 of Thomas Coggins. These 3 cars are tightly packed, but they got it gathered up and they're going here. The 25 on the inside of Jeremy Freeman. Some contact up front, towards the front. I didn't see what it was. Maybe a car in the wall.
Definitely, they're 4 wide there behind Freeman, so it's a big battle going on.
Yeah, right now, Richard Murtaugh Jr. off to a 3/10 of a lead out front. Blake Cannon running second. Skylar Brown in third. Keith Hackney in fourth. Kyle Begg rounds out the top 5. Jesse Isidore just right outside that top 5.
Richard Murtaugh Jr., he made an awesome pass there before that one caution, and 2 of them right there as that caution came down. And he's seeing the benefits. Cannon is behind him, though.
As you see from the inside of the cockpit, they get a lot of dirt on that shield there. They got to keep that visor clean because that dirt is flying all over the place. We're riding along with Keith Hackney in the 69, currently running 4th. So he started 5th. He's gained 1 spot so far. Right in front of him, the 10 of Skylar Brown, as he's looking to catch up to Blake Cannon in the 44. Started on the pole tonight, so he's lost a couple spots, or he's back to 3rd, so it's not too bad. Or, well, 2nd now, so maybe I'll figure out what I'm talking about one of these days, Mike.
You lost me on that one, buddy. I'm just following along with you. All right, man. The guys can see the action. They know what's going on. They know what the crew is. He's in that 4th spot. In front of him is the 10, and they've had a good battle. Good battles all over the track, Jerry.
Yeah, I'm kind of going through the field right here, getting a couple shots of these guys. And it's pretty much single file. everybody's in a groove right now, and they're just trying to make some moves on each other. Looks like the 88 of Thomas Coggins is trying to get around Josh Corkwell in the 58 as he moves to the inside. Right behind him is Dylan Petty in the 069.
That group right there, they've been putting on a good battle the whole race. It looks like Freeman tackled the wall in front of them.
Yeah, Freeman might have a little bit of damage on that car, so I wouldn't be surprised if he came down pit row and tried to get a quick fix on that thing.
Looks like we had one turned over in turn 3. I wasn't sure. I didn't get to see who it was.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. We'll have to go back and see if we can find it. I got a magic button I can hit. I'll try that this time, but, you know, it's kind of hard on dirt. It goes back to the last incident, and sometimes on dirt there's a lot of incidents, so we'll try the magic button. Oh, it worked. All right, let's rewind it for you. Because we're watching right here, Terry Joyner. He got a great shot at somebody flipping down the backstretch. Didn't quite see who it was. Maybe Jordan Bitterling. Let's take one more look. Oh, the 22 is JD Sass. Hard lick there. We had a little bit more contact between a couple drivers there, which is not unusual.
It looks like the 331 just kind of jumped up there and slid into JD. Nowhere he could go, nowhere JD could go. Just one of them parts of racing at the Grove.
One thing I know, Richard Murtaugh Jr. in the 8, he won last night. He's trying to make it 2 in a row. Right now, he's sitting in a good spot up front in that number 8. But he's got a lot of pressure on him because he's got Blake Cannon, Skylar Brown, Keith Hackney, Kyle Beck, Jesse Isidore, Jarrett Murphy, Jeremy Freeman, and Josh Corkwell and Thomas Coggins in the top 10. So a lot of fast guys up there, and we're almost halfway through this one. Got about 38 laps to go here. It's going to be about a 37 lap shootout here. Is that a shootout?
That's definitely a good race where I come from.
It's definitely a race. It might not be a shootout, but we'll see. You got to drive it like it's a shootout, especially if you're a little further back in the pack, like Rod Tucker, who's in 12th right now. Dylan Petty, Tim Christensen, Ethan Stuckwich, those guys, they got a little bit of ground to make up.
Definitely got a little ground, but they got a lot of laps too still to go. So let's see how this start goes. Murtaugh in the front, gonna start them around.
Didn't get a great restart, but it was decent. Looked like the 10 of Skylar about made a move there on him as he's on the inside of Blake Cannon right now as they come side by side through the corner, and the caution flag flies again here. It's like Kyle Beck got wrapped up in something.
It's like the 2 machine on that one.
Yeah, let's take a look from his cockpit on this restart. Oh, a little bit of blinking. Nothing bad, but yeah, it looked like he just kind of got sideways there. The 29 may have, I'm not for sure. He may have hit him there in that left rear, helped him on around, but it looked like he was on his way around either way. And you know, I love the look of that 29 car. Let's take a look at this thing. It's the Norwal Bloodbath machine of Jesse Isidore. One of the great sponsors over here for the International Dirt Association. So special thanks to him for doing what he does to help out and make all this possible here for the SIMADDICTS and the Dirt Outlaw Series.
Yeah, I'm sure these guys are real thankful for their sponsors and the great racing we're seeing tonight. Brought to you by those sponsors. And that's one of the many. They have quite a few. A lot of guys running that Elite chassis car I noticed tonight.
The Elite what?
The Elite chassis car tonight.
Oh yeah, you know, I mean, those guys, I tell you what, I don't know if I was even good if I could run with them.
Me neither, Jerry. I think we're on a whole other level than these guys. Some of them I've raced with and I can keep up with. Some of them I just wave to them when they pass me. Yeah,
you know, in those situations I have a lot more fun watching.
sometimes it could be a lot of fun watching. We've had a lot of fun tonight, haven't we?
So far, we're halfway through this 50-lap main event here for the International Dirt Association. Race number 1 at Williams Grove. And thanks to all you all that's out there watching, if you are, and those that will watch.
Richard Meixsell Jr., he's, sometimes you get those cautions, you start thinking too much. Hopefully he's just thinking about going to the front and the pace car is away.
One thing I know about Richard is he knows how to get a good restart, and he knows how to run up front. And once he's up there, he likes to stay up there. So here we go. We're getting set. Richard Meixsell Jr. hammers down. Blake Cannon was on that restart. So he didn't let him get away. He makes a move, just slides across the nose. Richard dives under him, crosses him over there as he regains that lead here. And we are under caution one more time. Looks like we might have a little contact between the 23 and the 30. The 30 of Todd Hook goes around. And I know that Noah did not mean to do that.
That's unfortunate. Sometimes you get in a race and you get in a heated battle, you just make a little mistake and it can be a big mistake in the end.
Yeah, and it looks like Todd Hook got it gathered up. Don't have no damage on that machine. Great looking paint job, by the way. And he's back out there. He did lose a couple spots. But, it's part of it. Sometimes people make mistakes, and that it happens.
Absolutely, and I wasn't sure who made that mistake. It's just one of them things with dirt racing. They're close, they're tight, they're ready to go fast. And you get these long, big fields, and they tend to make an accordion sometimes. And every now and then someone loses a spot.
We'll take a look at some race information right now. We've had 5 caution for 13 laps. We've got 1 lead change. The fastest lap's a 20.097. And if I know anything, I know that if these guys, they don't act right, they're going to hear it from the race admin, and they might get penalized. I don't know. They might have to sit out a race. I don't know how it all works. But I know that the International Dirt Association are looking for clean drivers, clean races, and green flag is what they want to see. So, everybody understands that mistakes can be made, and they do keep that in mind when they are watching the replay. They go back and watch these races, and they issue penalties where necessary. But, yeah, you got to hold your own here. Try not to turn anybody. And have a lot of fun is the number one thing.
That's it. That's the key right there. Fun is the key. We do want to. Most guys want a clean atmosphere, and I'm sure these guys are the same. But when you have the bigger fields, you're going to have a little bit more accidents, and that's okay because that's part of racing. Real dirt tracks, sim dirt tracks. Everywhere you go, there's cautions.
Yeah, and you're a league owner. You know how hard it is to put on these shows and make everything, happen like it's supposed to. So hats off to all the guys that are out there that make these leagues go. But the green flag is out. The number 8, Richard Meixsell Jr. As Blake Cannon tries it again, Richard does the same thing as he did on that last one, but this time they're side by side down the backstretch. And the caution flag fly. Oh, no. The 8 taps the inside wall, does a 360. That was actually decent. I like that. That was cool. I give him a 7 on that one.
Oh, that was worth it. With the cars behind him, that was worth at least an 8, Jerry. Come on.
Absolutely. I agree.
Maybe a 9.5.
Let's see what happened here. It looks like there was a little contact between the 331 machine. That's Dustin Hall in the 331. And right behind him, I don't quite see who that is. Maybe Terry Joyner in the 270. So a little bit of contact between those guys going to bring out the caution flag one more time here. But we still got 18 to go, so we got a lot of racing to come up. So don't leave us.
Definitely just another one of those little mix-ups there. It looks like one tapped another one and nowhere to go in that corner. It's getting slick and get a little harder to drive.
Oh, and when we were coming into this race, I was talking about how Williams Grove is a tough track. And, I've never seen a race here without a caution. you know, and at the least it might be one, but usually you have 4 or 5 cautions at a track like this. It's just it's a handful.
Well, it's definitely a track. You have to know. You have to be really on your best game here at the Grove, and a lot of the best race here at the Grove. But it's not a track that anyone can just get in there and drive. That's for sure.
And especially with a modified, I mean, you know, you get one of the toughest tracks to drive and one of the toughest cars to drive, and you put them on out there like that. I mean, it's going to be a handful, and then you're going to have your fast guys, your slow guys, and you're going to have guys like me that just can't quite figure it out.
Well, that's just what practice will do for you. I was the same way in the modified at the beginning of our season, and we had a rough opening night, but after that it smoothed out. And these guys are going to do it too. They're going to get the hang of it. They're going to get used to each other, and you're going to have some good races here. I'm envious that you get to broadcast these guys.
Single file restart, and the green flag's out for Richard Murtaugh Jr., and he takes off down into turn 1. No pressure from Blake this time because Blake's got his hands full of Skylar Brown. Skylar Brown, the 10, running third. The 69 of Keith Hackney's right behind as they go into turn number 3. The number 8 of Richard Murtaugh Jr. up on the high side, and the 44 following right in his tracks. Looks like most of them running that same line. They're pretty much single file up front. Let's take a look in the back with Troy Stuckwish and those guys, as they got a pack of wolves back there. And it looks like we got a car around. No caution this time. It's going to be Todd Hook in the 30, Dustin Hall, and the caution flag does fly out. So we'll go back. We'll take a look on the replay. Because, wow, I seen that coming. There was a pack of cars back there that was... Here we go. Oh. Let's take a look from Kenneth McLaughlin. Let's take one more look at this. Or Tim Christensen, sorry about that. The 27 car. Let's take a look from him. Oh. Rewind it one more time here. As he comes off turn number 3. Tries to get by there. A little contact comes from the outside. Turns him right into the wall. Hands full of steering wheel. I mean, he is wheeling that thing. He managed to keep it together there, but some of the cars went around here and pile up. The 18 stuck on a tire there. Oh, man, he's going to have to call a tow truck. Jeremy Freeman, nothing he can do besides call a tow truck here. That's going to put him down 1 lap at least.
That's unfortunate for Freeman. He was having a pretty good run tonight.
Yeah, let's look at Freeman. He's in his pit right now. He started 12th, and he was up in the top 10 there. I seen him 8th at one point, or maybe a little higher there. I didn't pay attention too well, but he was at least 8th there, and now he's fell back to 20th, and he's going to be 2 laps down now.
Yep, 7th car going into that last lap there.
Oh, man, I hate that for Jeremy. You know, he's a great guy, and a lot of people know him. They might not agree with me, but, you know, I mean, I'm working for him.
Oh, even if you're not working for him. I'm not working for him, and I'd say he's a good guy, too.
I'm
we
just
all
kidding.
have our differences, but Jeremy's a great guy.
Yeah, he definitely is. Him and Blake Mosley, very classy, humble, and not as humble as Keith Hackney. But here we go, one more time. The green flag's out for Richard Murtaugh Jr. Blake Cannon is going to give it one more shot here, but he's not going to make that move just yet. He falls in line behind Richard Murtaugh Jr. 3rd place, Skylar Brown 4th, Keith Hackney 5th is Jesse Isidore right now. As Blake makes that slide job, Richard knows how to handle that as he crosses him over, but Blake hangs in there as they're side by side. They drag race down the front stretch, and they door banging through the corners. The 10 of Skylar Brown sticks his nose in there and makes it 3 wide for a split second, but Blake Cannon making the inside work. Richard slings it down in there, pushes him up the track just a little bit. Now Keith Hackney's 3 wide with the 10 of Skylar Brown. Looks like contact. They hang on to it again.
Wow, contact's one thing, but hanging on to racing like that, that's amazing.
Oh, the 10 with his hands full. The 29 makes a move. Jesse Isidore gets around Skylar. Skylar got Jarrett Murphy up on his back end there. Still out front, Richard Murtaugh Jr., the 44 of Blake Cannon. Keith Hackney in third. They got single file here for a second. We'll take a look a little bit further back at Dylan Petty. Ethan Stuckwish in the 33. Jarrett Murphy just out front of them, just a little bit there. Looks like the 069 of Dylan Petty there in that purple and white machines digging down on the bottom, currently running 8th. We've got Kyle Beck in the 2 right behind him, followed by the 27 of Tim Christensen. Looks like Tim's trying to make a move on Kyle Beck. Kyle slipped up coming through 3 and 4 there, and Tim moved in. Looks like the 12 goes around there. It's Rod Tucker. He gets it cocked a little bit too far sideways. iRacing throws the caution with 7 to go. We're going to have a shootout here. It's going to be a restart.
Definitely going to be a shootout, and look for those 4 guys. You saw that action earlier. I think we're going to get a little bit more of that.
What a battle here. As you see Tim Christensen make a move on Kyle Beck when Kyle made that mistake. Little contact with the 12 of JD Sass, or the 12 of Rod Tucker. And, you know, Rod Tucker gets just a little bit sideways, and iRacing throws out the yellow flag. That's one flag that was unnecessary here. And it goes to show you how easy it is for iRacing to throw a caution, which is why we have so many cautions sometimes, especially in dirt, because these guys are slinging these cars around, and sometimes they get a little past 90 degrees, and, you know, they hang on to it, but iRacing sees that car at 90, and it throws that caution.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, it is a program, and it's not a real-life flagman, so it's hard to do some of those, hard to see all the action at once, and iRacing does the best it can. It's the best sim out there right now, and that's what we have to deal with sometimes. Yeah,
and I totally agree. I mean, you know, hats off to iRacing. I mean, they always making updates. They're always making it better for us. Every day, all day, they're working. They got people doing the best that they can do. So I can't say nothing but good things about iRacing, and if you've never tried it, you got to try it.
Oh, it's definitely worth it. You know, just a good computer and a nice wheel, and you're racing.
And I tell you what, I got the Rift, and once I got the Rift, like, it's something that you can't explain, because I've asked a million questions before I bought it, and I thought I knew exactly what I was getting into. But once I put it on, whole new ball game. There's things that people can't explain. You know, like one thing I try to explain is I put the Rift on, I go down the back straightaway, I hit about 160, and it felt like I was going over a hill. You know that feeling you get in your stomach? So when you first put that Rift on, it takes you a couple weeks, maybe a couple days, couple weeks, depending on who you are, to get used to it. But the green flag's out. Richard Murtaugh hammers down one more time. Blake Cannon's trying to chase him down. Let's see if he can do a late race takeover here. Slide job. But he's got to hold off the 69 of Keith Hackney. Keith Hackney, no slouch, 2-time champion here.
He's definitely sitting good tonight. They're running third. And that
oh, that's going to put an end to it right there. Richard Murtaugh Jr. with the win. They're going to run it out, folks. Never mind. They're running this one out. Richard Murtaugh Jr. still out front with the 44 of Blake Cannon, trying to put a move on him. Keith Hackney still in tow, followed by the 29 of Jesse Isidore. Jarrett Murphy running 5th. I'm sorry. Skylar Brown in 4th. Jarrett Murphy is in 6th. Jesse Isidore's in 5th. Oh, Blake Cannon into the wall. Wow, it collects everybody in the top 5. Pile up. Even Keith Hackney, Kyle Beck was caught up in that. I'm not sure who's going to get the win here.
That's definitely one the officials are going to have to sort out. I'm thinking it was Murtaugh on that one, but I'm not sure.
Well, right now, it depends. If they're running that out, it's showing Troy Stuckwish as the winner. It was showing Jarrett Murphy, but now it's showing Troy. I'm not for sure who's going to be the winner of this one. So if you're out there watching, Blake, maybe you can fill me in on that. But what a finish to a wild race here in the modifieds for the SIMADDICTS, the International Dirt Association. Race number 1, season 1, here at Williams Grove Raceway, Speedway, whatever you want to call it. Tough track, man. And I tell you what, I mean, I don't want to come back.
Oh, I don't mind the Grove. It is a tough track, but I do see a 33 machine sitting down there in Victory Lane. I'm not sure if he won or if, like you said, the admins will definitely have to feed you that information tonight for your top 3 interviews.
Well, we'll go through the race results just because we'll do it. We're showing Troy Stuckwish in first, Jarrett Murphy second, Ethan Stuckwish in third, fourth, Jesse Isidore, Dylan Petty rounds out the top 5, Skylar Brown 6th, Richard Murtaugh Jr., which led every lap besides, I believe, 1. It's going to be hard to take that win from him, you know, but either way, Tim Christensen in 8th, JD Sash in 9th, Keith Hackney 10th, Josh Corkwell 11th, 12th goes to Thomas Coggins, 13th is Kyle Beck, 14th is Dustin Hall, Noah Samples in 15th, Blake Cannon, Terry Joyner, Rod Tucker, Todd Hook, Jeremy Freeman, man, tough break for him. He finishes 20th tonight. Corey Whitworth and Jordan Bitterling rounds out the field here for the modifieds at Williams Grove for the International Dirt Association, sponsored by Norwell Bloodbath, Canton Wines, Diesel Performance, Ferguson Racing, Mosley Designs, HRT Sim Racing. A lot of great people out there doing a lot of great things, and a lot of great people out there that tuned into this. Special thanks to you guys. Thanks to Mike for coming up here, man. And if you want to cut out, man, I don't hold you to it. We're going to do some driver interviews, and we're going to try to figure out who won this sucker.
All right, well, I'll be watching the rest of the broadcast from the truck. Good luck with the interviews, and thanks everybody for watching SRTV.
Oh, thanks to Michael Massey for coming over here and helping me up here in the booth for this one. Let's take a look at that 33 car of Ethan Stuckwish. He is out there giving us a shot at it. AggressiveGraphics.com. It's a good looking car there, Ethan. And hang on just a second, we'll get our driver interviews coming right up. We're trying to get things sorted out, so just hang tight here. We definitely want to hear from these drivers and find out what's going through their mind as this one comes to an end tonight here at Williams Grove. Jesse Isidore, it's Jay Weezy in the SRTV booth. You got a copy?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, I do.
Hey, you finished third tonight, and you had one tough race, man. Y'all guys out there, I tell you what, it's a tough track, and you started sixth, finished third, man. Tell us about it.
Well, I mean, there was a lot of lucky starts on my behalf. I think a lot of guys getting into each other on the start. I think I was one of the lucky ones. I think I was a little quicker than I finished. I think I could have passed a couple more guys, but I was playing it safe there for a while.
Yeah, and we were talking about this track during the broadcast. It's one of the tougher tracks here on iRacing, from what I've heard. I know it's tough for me. I don't know. You guys are just professionals at this, but I don't know if it's tough for you guys. But the modifieds is also tough. So you take these tough cars on this tough track, man, and it's hard to run a green flag race. Did you have to have a lot of luck involved?
I mean, I'm pretty good in these cars. This is one of my favorite cars to run, and this is actually one of my favorite tracks. The biggest issue with this track is everybody else hates it. So I think a lot of guys really avoid practicing here because it ends up just like you saw tonight. Lots of cautions, and you have a tendency to drive it in a lot harder than you have to at this track, and that's how you end up with a caution fest. But this is my personal favorite track.
Well, I tell you what, you come out on the podium for race number 1 here, for season number 1 with the SIMADDICTS and the modifieds, man. How's it feel?
Feels pretty good, brother.
Does that give you any confidence going into the rest of the season? And are you looking to bring home that trophy to take home the championship?
That's the plan. That's what I'm hoping to do.
Hey, man. Go ahead.
I am hoping to. A lot of guys that I'm good buddies with are in this league, so it's going to be a lot of beating and banging. It ought to be fun.
Well, we're looking at this paint job here, this Mohr Bloodbath car, man. And I tell you what, can you tell us a little bit more about this great-looking car and Mohr Bloodbath?
Well, I'm from Pennsylvania, and I'm in a metal band, and Narwhal Bloodbath is that band. And we're actually in the middle of a studio session right now recording. We're getting our first album release, so that's going to be fun.
Well, that's awesome, man. You got to turn me on to that. Let me know some more about it. We'll hook up later on, man. But, hey, definitely wanted to thank you for help sponsoring the IDA over here, man, with the Narwhal Bloodbath, man. And what a great-looking car and a great finish, man. Anybody you want to thank?
I want to thank Jeremy and Blake and all those guys for putting this on. This is a good group of guys. This is a bad race to judge it off of. It's not usually going to be a caution fest like this. This is a lot of the faster guys in iRacing, so keep that in mind. So this is going to be a fun league to watch in the future.
Absolutely, yes, I agree totally. And I mentioned that here during the race. And I mean, these guys, I tell you what, I wouldn't be. I'd be 2 laps down, 3 or 4 laps down, something like that.
Yeah, this is a lot of real quick guys, a lot of them. So especially when we get to the bigger, more wide open tracks like Volusia and places like that, it's going to be quite a fun show.
Hey, well, thanks for coming up here, man, and congratulations for finishing third, starting off a great season over here in the modifieds, and hopefully we'll see you here in Victory Lane.
I hope so too. I think you probably will.
That was Jesse Isidore, man, the number 29 Narwhal Bloodbath machine. And you hear that? They're in the studio recording a new CD, so check those guys out. Right now, we're going to move on to Ethan. He finished in the second place here tonight in the number 33 machine. Let's see if we can get him on the radio here. Ethan Stuckwish is Jay Weezy in the SRTV Network booth. You got a copy? Ethan Stuckwish, you got a copy? Looks like we're having trouble with the radio with Ethan Stuckwish. Maybe we can get an interview with him in next time, unless we can get him on here now, but I doubt it. We're trying here, so let's see if we can get a word in with our race winner here. Looks like tonight our winner is going to be Jarrett Murphy in the 25 machine. Jarrett Murphy. Let's see if we can get a talk to. I guess he ain't there. Well, we can't find Jarrett Murphy on the radio tonight, so I apologize for that for him. But for all y'all out there watching, man, congratulations to Jarrett Murphy, by the way, on the win tonight. Sorry we couldn't get an interview in with him. And that great-looking number 25 rocket chassis machine here pulls it off, man. I tell you what, nobody deserved it more than Richard Murtaugh Jr., though, in that number 8. Unfortunate for him to not be able to capitalize and bring home that trophy. Little contact between him and Blake Cannon, the 44 machine, and it messes up a lot of great drivers like Keith Hackney, Kyle Beck. A lot of people got collected in that. But I hope y'all enjoyed it tonight. I know I did. It was a couple cautions, but hey, a lot of people like watching wrecks. I don't, you know. It's just me. But a lot of people go to tracks to watch the wrecks. So if you came for that, you definitely got your money's worth on that one. And we'll be back next week with the modifieds. I'm not sure where we're going yet, but we'll have more information coming up here soon. So for SRTV Network, for Michael Massey for coming up here in the booth with me, I appreciate you there. Until next time, y'all keep getting dirty. And thanks to all these great sponsors.